What's up, guys, and welcome to the Spaanify 100 Days of Coding Challenge. Hope you guys are well. Today, I will be teaching you guys how to add JavaScript to your web project. My name is Kopana Mariri. I'm one of the co-founders at Spaanify, and yeah, like I said, I'll be just going through a few things today, basically. So this is the lesson agenda. We'll recap the previous lessons. We'll have a brief introduction of what JavaScript is, and we'll go into how to actually build a backend using JavaScript. I'll explain the practical challenge to you guys for those who are wanting a certificate. And then I'll also outline the submission guidelines, and we'll touch upon further readings for you guys to continue your development journey as well. After that, this was during the live session, so we can just ignore this. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys are ready, and well, let's get going. So, the previous lesson we touched upon. I'm just trying to find it. I just want to open the previous lesson. So this is the site we're trying to build. This was the HTML and the CSS section that we covered on the previous two lessons. As you can see, it's a basic site, but it gets the job done. There's some styling attached to the site as well, so it's not looking too bad. For this lesson, what we're going to try and actually build is a quotation system. So you might ask me, why would we need a quotation system? Well, think about it, guys. Let's say, for example, now you have a client. This is a burger shop, right? For example, let's say now we have a client who comes onto our site and is looking for pricing. How are they going to get the pricing? They have to call us, right? And what if we're not on the phone? What if we miss that call? We're losing sales. So we're going to try and automate this by having a quotation system onto the platform where it's able to generate a quotation on the spot. So, for example, the end result I want to do, or by the end of this lesson, this is what you guys should be able to do. I click get quote, and it should say hi, whoever the user's name is, whatever the user ordered, total price of your order, and the total price of the order, 70 Rand. So now the customer doesn't necessarily have to call us to get the pricing. So yeah, that's what we'll be covering today, guys, and let's get started. Hope you guys are excited. I am for this session. I hope it records. This is the second time I do this, and it didn't record on the previous session, so I'm still a little annoyed about that. But yeah, technology sometimes lets you down. But anyway, let's move on. Cool. So we're gonna open a new JavaScript file. Well, actually, no. Let's do this. Let us do this. So these are the files that you guys should have so far, the CSS. You don't have this file as of yet, but don't worry. And the index. So I'm just going to open up the index first. Let's just give it a minute to load. Yeah, let's just give it a minute. Okay, there we go. So this is the code we have so far. And there's going to be a few HTML sessions, HTML we're going to have to edit just to accommodate the new site, but that will not be a problem. Okay, guys, so let's just first look at our site and see what we have to add exactly. So firstly, I'm just going to have to add a few new fields: first name, last name, types of food, area requirements. So that will be the first thing I need to do. Yeah, so the previous one, we only had first name, last name, country, and subject. So now I'm actually going to change it so we have the correct fields. So first name is fine, last name is fine. Country, nope, we don't want country. What do we want? Let's just look at the. So this is the one you guys have. This is the one you guys should have. First name, last name, country, subject. So like I said, first name, we don't want that. We don't want the last name. We don't want the country. We don't want the subject. Sorry, we want these two, not necessarily these two. So let's first change that. So here's the code for that particular page. Okay. Types of food. So for this, types of food. Okay, types of food. What else do I need? Area, correct. So guys, I'm not gonna necessarily type it in from scratch. I'm just gonna copy this since it's I want the exact same thing, just with different values. So I'm just gonna copy this, and instead of it saying types of food, I'm gonna say area. What else do we need? Requirements, right? So instead of it saying subject for this, I'm just gonna make it say requirements. So guys, I don't want to spend too much time on the HTML and the CSS side, so I'm gonna try and rush through it so I can cover the JavaScript. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, types of food. So the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change this label to what should I change it to, guys? So remember, it doesn't necessarily matter what you name it. It's more for it's more for what do you call it? Linking back to JavaScript. So in this particular instance, I am gonna choose to name this label. Remember, you can name whatever you want, guys. Name this food as well. Name this food as well. I'll just change the values. So now basically I'm designing my menu. So since we're having, since we have a burger shop of some sort, I am going to say I'm just going to name my favorite burgers. Pineapple burger, vegan burger. I do not like a vegan burger. Is vegan even does it qualify as a burger even? Anyway, no offense to vegans. Chicken burger. So now we're just adding the menu for the quotations that they might want to get. So chicken burger, mushroom burger. Vegetarian burger. Should we add anything else? I think this is adequate for now. Yeah, I think that's adequate. Then we want to change the area. So let's say we want to know where our user is from, so we can accurately price the delivery. So just name this area. Name this area as well. Give it a caps lock there. So where do we want them to be? Okay, let's see. Let's have one for Santon. Let's have one for green side. I'm just gonna name some bougie places. Green side, maybe CBG. Let's add some more options. Rambo maybe. Right, Rambo. What else need? Rosebank. And then we just change the name. Inside. something right? Yes. Okay. So now we have the area. So if I was to save this right and run it, let's see. So this is the new instance that we have now. Yeah, there we go. First name, last name, types of food, area. Vegan burger, chicken burger, mushroom, inside, CBD, rainbow, right? Why do I have Einstein? Why do I have Einstein? Greenside, Randburg, Roseman, right? Yeah. Why do I have? Just see. Sorry, guys. JS lesson. I think it's this one. Yeah, there you go. Roseman. Okay, yeah, so that's the right one. Let me just close it. It's a little confusing. Let me just close all the other instances. I'll reopen them again. Sorry, guys. I just want to close all the other instances. Okay. Requirements. So that's Danish. What else do we need? So we have the food. Let's create the first name and the last name. Okay. So the other thing we're going to have to do is, so I'm going to open the example that's complete just to show you the exact functionality we want. Remember, this is the example that we're working with. So let's open the example that's complete. This is the example that's complete. Show you guys something. So when I click get code, you guys see this dialog box. So we're going to try and create this dialog box via CSS and HTML. This box is called a modal. I can never pronounce it. I'm not sure if it's modal or modal, but yeah, modal. It's called a modal. And it's basically a way of notifying users if anything goes wrong. So this is the box we're actually trying to recreate. So let's do that now. So for us to do this, there's just a couple of things we're going to have to change on our website. The first thing is we're going to have to add that modal to our button, right? So I want you guys to scroll down to, if you've been following the sessions, I want you to scroll down to where the button is. And so right here. And we're going to try and add a modal. So we're going to add the little box here. We're going to have to create a div. We're going to put it in a class of type row. Of type row. I'll just close my div. And from there, you want to add what's called the content basically of this row. So guys, I think I might be losing track of my thoughts, but so one thing I want to do is I just want to add an ID before I continue because I'm going to forget. I want to add an ID to this button because I'm going to be referencing it. So let's just quickly add an ID to this button, guys. I'm going to call it my button. ID equals my button. Okay, sweet. And now we can add. So yeah, now we can add our modal. So I just did a mistake. It's not on the row. This should actually be an ID. And we'll call this ID modal. We'll add a clause. Okay. So we add a clause. So we can take the clause. Type modal. So we're going to be making reference of this class with the CSS. We add another div. So what is this div that we added? This div is going to be used to host the content of the modal class. So we're just going to use anything. Modal content. hope you guys are following. We're going to add a span to it. The span is going to belong to a clause equals to close. I'll explain what I mean with close. Close it. Times. So guys, this is basically, this and times basically is that little cross that you see when you press the button. So if I also see this little cross here, this is basically what and times means. So since I'm designing my model, I'm actually creating that little cross by saying and times. Because obviously there's no button for that, that cross. So that's the short key character for it. And I'll add a paragraph. Call it so this doesn't really matter because it's going to get overwritten, but I like putting default values just in case something ever goes wrong. I don't want my users not to see anything at all. So I'll just put that there. And what else do we want to do? Okay, we just need to close out there. There's no mistake. Good. Yeah, we should be good. Okay, I'll just save this. Let's go back. So now I'm back to the page that we're working on currently. I refresh. And can you guys see how it says your order is ready here? So don't be alarmed. That's just because that we haven't added any CSS styling to this model page. By default, I want this thing to be hidden. And I only want to see it once I press this submit button. So that's just another quick thing I want you guys to do is I wanted to change the value of the submit button to get code. After changing it to get code, let's just say get code. Right. Okay. So one more thing we want to do. Keep on saying one more thing, guys. When I say one more thing, it never means one more thing. Just a little heads up. We want to just delete this action tag. So what action does basically means that once my user submitted all my, once my user has entered all their forms and pressed the button, the submit button, execute this PHP tag from the action. So PHP is not in the scope of this tutorial, so that's why I'm taking it out. But there is another line that we do add. Reason being is since we took it, form basically it is always accompanied by an action, but since we took it out, we have to override the form's functionality so that the page doesn't refresh every time you press the button. But don't be alarmed, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So just follow me throughout. I'm going to say return false, right? I don't save yet, I just want to show you why I'm doing that. So now let's say my user has typed in all the necessary information, then we press get code. You see how the page refreshes and then it throws an error because there's no PHP attached to that form. So I want to override that basic functionality that the form has by using the onSubmit tag. The onSubmit tag basically says on this form submission, execute this statement. So this is the statement that's being executed and it returns false, basically meaning don't do anything. So let's just refresh again. Did I say it? I hope I said it. Okay, we go back. Yeah, so can you see now when I press get code, nothing happens? Well, that's the functionality we're looking for. Okay, so now that's done. What we want to do now is go to the CSS of the page. So I'm just going to open the styling. Plus. There's a text editor I'm using just for those wondering is Notepad++. It's not my favorite IDE, but it gets the job done. And I think definitely for beginners, it's one I guess I would use to start out. But As you guys get better at developing, I would suggest you move to other more advanced IDEs. Another good one is Atom. One of my personal favorites as well is Visual Studio by Microsoft. That's also a good IDE. But Notepad++, it does get the job done, so it's not a train smash. Anyway, so guys, what we're gonna try and do now is style that little modal button. So just bear with me. It might seem a little tedious at first, but it's actually not. So first of all, I'm gonna change the modal. And remember, guys, the model is actually this class. So that's the class I'm making reference to. By default, so I'm going to use the display tag of HTML. I want you to be hidden. I want your position to be fixed. Right? I want your Z index to be 1. So just to explain what Z index is, Z index basically means priority. Priority meaning that a Z index with a very low value is shown first. So what this means is that the reason why that little modal class goes straight to the front, like this, the reason it goes straight to the front is because it has a very low Z index number. Hence, it overtakes all the priority in terms of all the little other components we have. So as you can see, it comes to the first page. So that's what Z index does. If I put it on a very high number, it would go behind everything else. So that's why I'm setting it to 1, guys. Left. So now I'm going to try and align it to the center. So I'm going to give it 0 left. Sorry, not left. Not right. Top 0 as well. Because like I said, I don't want to spend too much time with the CSS since it was covered in the last lesson. 100%. Height. 100%. Background color. So FFF is the color white. Guys, I just want to show you another cool trick of getting color. It's called RGB. So the function is RGB. RGB meaning red, green, blue. A meaning opacity. So guys, for those who didn't know, every single color that you can see is made out of 3 primary colors, obviously: red, green, and blue. So by changing the intensity of these types of colors, you can get any color in the spectrum. So this particular function takes 3 tags. So 0, 0, 0, 0.5. So this is basically white, but it goes all the way up to 255 intensity. So if a number of 255 would mean all the red intensity. A number of 0 would mean none of that intensity. So 255, 255, 255 would give me black, if I'm not mistaken. I hope you guys are still following. So you basically have 2 ways to write this, but let's use this new way. Excuse me. Okay, so we're done with that. So now let's try doing more content. Background color. Let's use. This is a shade of white. Margin 15%. Got it. 20%. Water. 888. So I'm just giving my model a border, guys, of 1 pixel length. I want it to be a solid line, and I want the color to be black. Then I'm going to change the width to 80% as well. And yeah, that's that with the model content. So the model content, like I said, this is the model content of the gate. This, so the insides of the box. Then style the close. So the close is, remember how I told you that and times means this. So the close is this is what we're styling. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and, you see how if I hover through that X button, there's like a red color changes too. So this doesn't just happen by magic. We actually have to code this. And I'll do this by using the hover, right? It was covered in the previous lessons as well. So if you guys just need clarity on that, you can just go back to that. And also focus. Cool. Then I'll change the color to red, so that when you have the color changes red. Text decoration, what we want, I don't want a text decoration, so I'm just missing. But if you guys do want the text decoration, you can definitely add on. And cursor, what do I want to happen when someone hovers? I want to point a cursor like this. So guys, also there's just all these little tags or functions I'm using. You can always get them on Stack Overflow, or you can Google them and you'll get more details on how to use them. Like I said, in this particular lesson, I don't want to touch too much on the CSS part of the lesson. But yeah, so, and guys, this is basically it for the CSS. So let's just save and see what we have so far. So remember it was here, so we should have hidden this. Let's see if it's still there, and bada bing bada boom, it's gone. So that's cool. It's gone. So now what we're trying to do is we want to only see this when we press that get button, right? Okay, cool. So now to do that, we finally move on to the JavaScript side of things. Yes. Hope you guys are excited. JavaScript is a wonderful language that's been here for 20 years and it will be here for another 50 years. A lot of languages are built upon the JavaScript framework, so it's a skill definitely worth investing in my opinion. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to name your file with the .js tag. So you're going to create a new file by clicking here on Notepad++. And you're going to say file save as. You're going to give your file a name. And you're going to say .js. Make sure you save it in the same directory all the website files are saved in, or else it's going to be a little difficult for you to make reference to it. Also, this is very important, make sure you save it as a .js file, or else the compiler won't be able to understand what type of file it is. And a compiler is basically what makes your code run. Cool. So the first thing we're going to have to do with our JavaScript file is create a function. I'm going to pull this function down. I'll explain what I'm doing as after I've okay, so this is what's called a function. A function basically allows you to it allows you to reuse code without having to retype it again. Yeah, so this is how you declare a function. You use the function indicator, you give your function a name, and then you insert a parameter. So whatever goes inside these brackets is called a parameter. So basically what this means is that the function doc ready takes one parameter. Also, this is the name of the, like I said, the name of the function. And it doesn't necessarily matter what you call it. It doesn't necessarily matter what you call this. You can call it whatever you want. Cool. So let me just type this and I'll explain again. I hope you guys are still following me. And guys, please comment on the video. Please share, like, subscribe. If you guys have any complaints, please also just put them in the comment section. If they're good, if they're bad. I personally will respond to every comment, regardless if it's good or bad. So yeah, guys, please do that. Anyway, what I'm trying to, I'll explain. Actually, let me just finish typing. Okay, guys. So this is what's called an if statement. An if statement is a way to check if something is true or if something is false. If statements are the premises of programming. Without if statements, there's very little you can do. So the way an if statement works is you say if, open brackets, and then you put the statement that you're comparing to, and then if this particular statement is true, then it will execute in these lines of code. And that's the way you can look what an if statement is. So here, okay, there's another thing I just have to explain to you guys about JavaScript. JavaScript is built upon DOM. What is DOM, you might ask? Document, object, model. This is what makes the communication between JavaScript and HTML possible. So the DOM, one of the DOM traits that we have access to is called document. So whenever we use document, we're referring back to the HTML. So when I say document.readState, I'm saying, so whenever you guys see document, just know that it's kind of me, it's the link between my HTML page and my JavaScript in a way. So whenever I say document, like I'm saying .readState, and I'm making reference of the HTML. So here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see, has my document loaded successfully, right? Because obviously I don't want to execute code if my document is still loading. Hence why I have this complete and interactive. This here just means all. So it means if my document is ready, is equals to complete, or my document is marked as interactive. Interactive just being another way of saying complete. Execute these particular lines of code. So another cool thing we have with an if statement is the else statement. With the else statement, it basically with the else statement, it means that if this isn't true, execute this line, right? So what I'm trying to say here is that if the document hasn't finished loading, keep on listening up until the document has finished loading, then you can execute the lines of code I'm going to be adding. So document content loaded just means that has my document loaded successfully? Has my DOM content loaded successfully? Remember how I said the DOM is connected to the HTML? It just means that has my HTML page loaded. Cool. So add event listener. So this is just another option you have with JavaScript. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go through all of them. So I invite you guys just to do research on the several options we have available. As you can see, if I say document, I just have tons of options that I can use. So I won't be able to go through all of them, but yeah, please guys, just do a little bit of research on your side. Okay. Wait, no. I should have changed. Let's just save. And guys, we're coming on too bad. Another thing I just forgot to mention. If you don't do this, your code will definitely not execute. We're gonna just okay. So we need to link our JavaScript file with our HTML. So we do that by saying script source equals and the location of your JavaScript file. So in my instance, it's called myscript.js. Yeah. Just black. Okay, my script. Oh, not my script. My SCRIPT. Just make sure you spell this right, or else it won't link. Okay, once that's done, all set. Okay, now continuing. What we want to do now, right, is since we've coded this document function, now we can actually use it. And hence why functions is very valuable in our programming. So we're going to say doc ready. Open. I'm going to say function. Actually, this again. Okay. So this is just my working space now. Just make sure you guys remember how you always have to close your tags, eh? So in JavaScript, yeah, you always have to make sure you always close your tag like this. The only time you don't need to do this is like for if statements and for statements and loops as well. Then you don't necessarily have to close. But for all other little tags you do, you make sure you at least close statements. Okay. Okay, cool. So we're done with that. So now what I am gonna try and do now. Close document. So what I'm trying to do here now is I'm trying to make reference of our little model that we created. Just go down and see. The ID, hence why we named it ID. And hence we named it my model. So now we can actually reference it back in our JavaScript file by saying my model. So this is how you're able to combine both HTML and JavaScript together. So I'll just go ahead. Let me just explain what var is, guys. So when I use the term var, I am declaring a new object. Yeah, you might look at it as an object, I guess. So in this particular case, var is able to hold any type of data type, since JavaScript is what's called a TypeScript language. TypeScript meaning that it doesn't necessarily have to take certain variable types. The var type is what's used to declare variables in JavaScript. So I hope you guys understand. This name doesn't necessarily matter. What matters mostly is this name, because this is what I'm making reference of. This name can be, you can call it whatever you want at the end of the day. Then I'm gonna try and get my button. What did we call my button? Again, you guys remember I called it my BGN, my beating, my BT, my button. Button. Okay, span. This is what I'm going to make reference of as well. So the things I am declaring are things I'm going to be interacting with and changing. For span, guys, I'm not going to use get element by ID. Get element by ID just means get the element of type ID my model. So it goes to HTML and it looks for which container is called my model, and then it finds it to be this one. Once it's found it, then it links it back to the JavaScript. So hence why this name is important. So for this one, I'm not going to use get element by ID. I'm going to use get element by class name. Get elements by class name. Get elements by class name is very, very, very similar to get element by ID, but instead of it referencing it by ID, it references it by what? The class. Correct. Well, I'm assuming you guys are correct. I don't know. I hope so. Then we're gonna go to. So now what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and create a listener. A listener just means that something that's always running in the background. So when I press something, for example, action takes part. So for a button, what we have to do is we have to say on click. So guys, remember, it doesn't necessarily just have to be for a button. On click can be used for anything, text, label, it can be used for anything at the end of the day. but in this particular instance, I'm going to use it for that little button we created called get code, if you guys remember. I'm going to say btn dot onClick, and I'm going to user function. You don't have to do it this way. This is how I prefer it, but you don't necessarily have to do it exactly the way I do it. Button. So guys, just to test that it works, I'm going to use what's called an alert. An alert basically brings a message to the forefront of my page, right? I'm just going to test if it's linked properly by doing this. JS works. Okay. I saved, let's see. There we go, JS works. So it does work. The alert does work. That's great news. And so it means we can continue. Guys, I just want to invite you that most of the time you guys are going to come across bugs and you won't necessarily know what's wrong. And what makes a great developer is the ability for them to debug or find out what's wrong with their code. And one thing that assisted me definitely when I was starting out was breakpoints and alert boxes like what I just used now. So let's say my code is not working right. I would usually just put my alerts in specific places because my alert won't necessarily run if my program crashes somewhere. So let's say it crashed here. This alert would not have ran. So I know that my code is right because I saw that alert button, that alert box. So I know my code is fine and I can. So now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get all those elements that the user had available so that we can get the value that the user typed out. So I'm going to say good. So what this does is we are getting, this is what we're getting. We're getting the option that the user selected here. We're not, this isn't all you have to do to get the option, but this is the first step you have to do, especially since this is not your default text box. You know what? Let me first show you what would do if it was just a plain old text box. Text box being like this. How would get the value? So we'd say var first, what do we want to do? I'm horrible at naming variables, guys, but okay, I'm name this name, okay, element by ID. What's the name of the ID of the element? We have to go back to our index, check what we named this variable. So we named it f name. Right, so go back. So I'm just going to say alert name. So I just want to see if it's going to print out the name of the user. Right, so we're just going to click here, whatever the user name is, get code. No. Oh, did I say it? Oh, that's why I didn't refresh. Obviously, we have to refresh our page. Type in anything, get code. Can you see that? Can you guys see that? It's not working. So I have done something wrong because it would have displayed train smash. So I've done something wrong, guys. And it's fine. I don't want you guys to be alerted. Get it? Alert. Try not joke. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Get code. So it's supposed to bring an alert out, but it's not doing it. Let's just comment this out. Let's try it again. Interesting. Let me see it. Wow. Okay. That is very strange. It just stopped working. Listen. Very, very strange. Okay, let's just go back up to the point where it was working. It's very strange how it's suddenly not working. Okay, let's just do this. So this is great because you guys can actually see the process of finding out bugs, finding out. Okay, so that works. Um, hmm, let's just try and declare it. Sorry, guys. I know sometimes you don't prepare for these things, but like I said, I'm glad it's happening because you guys can then see where my errors or how I fix errors on my side. Right? What's the name of my ID? Ah, that's why. Okay, I know exactly why it didn't work. Damn, damn. Okay, so the reason why it didn't work is because I, when I do this, when I say document.get element by ID f name, I am making reference of this tag. So I've told JS that I want to go get this particular component, right? So it's gotten that component. But I haven't told it what do I want from that component. What do I want? I want the value. I want the value. Hence why it wasn't showing when I said alert name. So yeah, this now should work. I hope it works. Let's see. This should work now. So I say edd get code. There we go, edd. So you see, that was the reason why it wasn't working. Cool. So we can move on. Let's get the last name of the user. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this just to save time. I'm gonna call it L name. So L name is the name of the text box that L name is this. That's L name. What else do I have? I have area. Okay, I'll do that now. I have last price. What else do I have? Let's just check whatever fields out of requirements as well. Okay, so we need to get the requirements. Let's do that. Fine. I'll just copy this again. We'll do that. We'll call it requirements. Go to our index page. We'll find the name. Called subject. Called subject. We'll add subject here. Let's just see if this works. Also, should work. That's all. What did I do? What did I do? Whoa. Okay, here we go. I'm not an Edge user. I'm more of a Chrome user. I don't know what to do. Okay. Yeah, so we've been able to get the name, the last name, and the requirements so far from the site. So give yourself a round of applause if you've been following so far. I would say we're almost done, guys. Yeah. So now comes the part of adding or getting what the user selected. What I mean by this is now, let's say, you see how we have multiple options here. Let's say now I want to get this mushroom burger, vegan burger. I want to get whatever option the user selected. So to do that, I'm just going to say var food equals document. And remember what I said, whenever we use document, we're referencing the old type, ID. What's the name of the element? Food. So don't get the value of this because we aren't done. After that, we're going to create another variable that actually stores the value called selected food. We're going to say food. Then we say options. Right. After that, we want to open up our square brackets. We'll say food dot. There's this term called selected index. Then we can set our value. So we're doing this because this is different. It's not necessarily just a simple text box. It's a select box. That's why we're doing it like this. Okay. After that, we want to do that same thing for the area. So I'm going to say that because guys, save time. I'm literally just gonna copy this just for the purpose of saving time. Call this area instead of selected food. Selected area. Oh, so there's a Java function type area. So hence why this is brown, and we don't want this to be brown. Whenever your variable name changes color and it's not like this default black color, just know that it means that the JavaScript already has this term used for something else. So I'm just gonna change its name to capital A, and instead of food, I should say area. I should say area, and I should say area there as well. Why do I say area here? Let's go back to our JS file, and as we can see, this thing is called area ID. So to the small letter. So I'll also just change this to a small letter. So I hope you guys are still following me. After we've done that, we wanna check if we're getting the expected results by. Shall we check food first? Let's check food first. By using the alert box I showed you guys. We're gonna refresh all the way down. USA. Oh, okay. So one thing we didn't do is we didn't change the value of our um, our option tags. Because remember how it was area, Australia, Canada, USA, USA, USA. We actually want the value to be the same as this. Vegetarian burger. Here we go. Save this. Open up. Refresh. Go back. Mushroom burger. There we go. So that's fine. Can you guys see why this alert box is so important? It helps us actually test if we're getting the expected results. So we don't have to code all the way just to find out we're not getting the results that we wanted. So now I'm just going to check for selected area, right? Let's see if we are going to get the expected. I don't think we are actually. I don't think we are. Okay, no, we should, because here I can see the value matches in, so we should get the expected results. I'm going to say CVD GHP. So now I'm supposed to get, there we go. So we're still on the right track. We're almost finished, guys. We're almost finished. Just the last stretch. So when the so we're on the right track. So now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and equate or give my burgers prices so that the user can know how much each burger costs. Right. So for that, I'm going to use a variable called price. I'm also going to declare a value called to display. This is going to be used to display the message. So you can think of this as the message content. So I'm going to say if. Remember how I explained what an if does? Basically, it's a checker. It checks the value of a variable, and if it's equal to an expected result, it'll that particular code will get executed. If not, it'll go to an else statement. If an if statement is present. Oh. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's move on. Selected food. So now we have to test, right, what the user typed in. Not typed in per se, but what the user selected. So let's go here. What possible options do we have? We have pineapple, vegan, chicken, mushroom, and vegetarian. So make sure you copy the value actually. Sorry, copy the value and put it in. So now if my burgers equals, if the user selected a pineapple burger, we're going to equate a price of say 50 rand, right? But what happens if we didn't choose a pineapple burger? That's where now the else if statement comes in hand, right? I'm just gonna copy this. I don't want to type this again. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna select the next option now, vegan burger. I'm gonna come here. Paste vegan burger. How much do you want the price of a vegan burger to be? I'm gonna say 100 rand. So I'm just gonna do this for all the options. So I think we have like 5 or 6 if I'm not mistaken. So we have to do this 5 times. Check all the options. Guys, if there's anything you guys are struggling with, please leave them in the comments below. Like I said earlier, I will make sure I respond to each and every comment. I usually respond in a day or two, but at the end of the day, your comment will get answered. So if you guys have a problem, please respond. If you guys want to message me, directly message me, just just comment and I'll reply, and I'll DM you or something along those lines. And for those still watching, congrats for getting this far. Hamburger. Okay, so I hope you guys still understand what I'm trying to do. I'm just checking what food my user selected. Remember, btn.onClick means when my user has clicked the button, the get code button, execute these lines of code, and I've declared all my variables here. And then I come here and I start checking the food. What the food my customer selected. And then I'm just gonna give it a price. So chicken burger doesn't really matter. So 3 rand price equals 100 rand. Price equals 100 rand. So I'm sure you guys understand. Cool. So what's next? So now we're gonna actually try and compile our message. What I mean by this is, let's just go to the finished product. This message. This is what I'm gonna try and compile now, and I'm gonna use the variable called display. So I'm gonna say hi. Then okay. So now every time I want to make use of a variable in JavaScript, right? A variable obviously being any of these things, I have to use the keyword, the character plus. After I say plus, I can use the whatever variable I want to use. So in this case, I want to get the user's name. So where did I store the user's name? Inside of variable called name, right? Then I'm going to say plus. Do I want his surname as well? Yeah, I do. So I'm going to say plus. I'm going to say space because I want a space. I don't want it to just be like name, surname. I want it to be name, space, surname. So I save the surname as well. I'm going to say plus again. And maybe we'll just give him a thank you. Thank you for ordering. Right? You ordered. Then we say plus. What did my user order? Where's the variable that has what he ordered is what am I saying? What variable has stored what the user has ordered? That's selected for, right? Okay. Then what do you guys want to say? Let's say the total price of your order is. So now we're gonna get the price, how much the total order cost. So I'm gonna say R here for rands. The reason why I'm putting a chair is because remember the variable that I've just added is gonna go straight after my inverted commas. So I'm gonna say plus price. Then I'm gonna say plus again. Right. And when I say price, I'm gonna say the total. No, I'm gonna say we noticed you have in, and I'm gonna say plus again. And what variable have I used to select to showcase where the user stays, so the area he stays. That variable is called selected area. And we say plus. What else can I say? Thank you. Thank you. See you again. See you again. So this is the message, the generic message that my users are going to see throughout as they're using the quotation system. So only the things that are only going to change are going to be these things: the name, the last name, the selected food, the price, and the selected area. Those are the only things that are going to change. Everything else is going to be standard like always. This will not change. Okay, so once I've done that, I want to append this to the content of my modal. So to do that, I say document. And by append, guys, I mean, this is what I mean. I mean, I want to add a gem, right? Remember how I saved this as your order is. So I don't want it to say your order is. I want to display this message I just typed in this display variable. So also just remember, every time, like I've been saying, I want to make reference to any type of HTML, I have to use the document tag. And the document tag is from the DOM, the document object model. So cool. We say document. Then we say get element by ID. I have to show where this is. So it's modal content, right? The reason why it's modal content is because, like I said, I want to change the content. So that's why I gave this an ID of content. After that, I want to say dot. So a cool little HTML JavaScript tag that we have available is called inner HTML. So this just allows us to change the default values of HTML tags containers. Then I'm going to give it a value of what? Display, correct? Yeah. And I am also gonna, so now I'm gonna reference that this modal variable I created. I'm gonna say modal. Oh, this thing is still recording. Okay. I'm gonna say modal style, right? Dot display. So now I want to actually make it visible. Because remember how we actually made it not show in the beginning? So now when the button is pressed, I want it to be visible. Display equals block. So block is basic. Block is a CSS term that means show. And I'll just do this visible. 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 Modal.style display visible. Let's see if this works. So this is the page that we have. I'm gonna refresh. Inside. Get quote. Okay. So then something's not working, guys. I didn't save it. Let's try again. So one of the biggest problems you guys are gonna run to is not a problem per se, but just some silly mistake is probably not saving and expecting your quote to work. So just always double check that you saved if you're not getting the expected results. There we go. Hi, good morning, manager. Thank you for ordering with us. You ordered mushroom. Okay, I'll just fix that to say mushroom burger. The total price of your order is 100 rand. We noticed you live in CBD Johannesburg. Thank you. See you again. So maybe let's just fix that. But I'm glad that it's working. Let's just say ordering. I'll put a space there. And yeah, that should be it. So it's working. So one problem that I just want to show you guys that we're going to fix now is, can you see how this little X, which is the and times tag, is here? So yeah, it's turning right. That's all good and dandy. But what happens when I press it? So for those who can't tell, I'm pressing it, but nothing is happening. And also, like I said, it's in the middle. We don't want it to be in the middle. We want it to be here. And I want the dialog button to close. Because right now, I can't close this dialog box. There is no way of me closing this dialog box. But in the completed version, the X is to the right. And when I press it, the dialog box dismisses. which here I don't have that option. So that's what we're going to try and quickly do now. And for us to do that, we have to set another listener. We're going to set a listener for the span and for the x. So I'm going to say span dot on click. Remember how I told you we have on click for all the HTML tags. So yeah, function machine function. Okay. Then I'm going to say modal dot style equals sorry. I have to say dot display. So I have to say style display. Then I can say. So now I'm changing the attribute of the CSS of this span. So this is going to make it disappear. Let's just check. See? Okay, can you see how now it closes? Cool. You see that? So it's still in the middle. So I think the reason for that is that I probably missed a tag for yeah, that's one. So I didn't style that little cross button, hence why it's it's in the middle. So I'm just gonna style it quickly. Close, color black, float. So float is the positioning. I want it to the right. Font size is the size. How big do we want it? I'm gonna say 28 pixels. Font weight. So this is the styling, and I want my X to be bold. I'm just gonna save this. So let's refresh. There we go. So it's fine now, and it closes. And that concludes our lesson, guys. So we were able to build a fully fledged working quotation system that's able of getting the prices of our store and displaying them to the user. So in use case, this could be used, like I said, for several reasons. Car mechanics, maybe they want a quotation for a part. So this is something that you can actually go take and apply in your business, apply in other people's business. And guys, for something like this, you could actually charge anywhere between 1.5 to 3,000 rand for a simple website like this. So this is a way for you guys to actually start making money. I'm not saying that a client maybe might not necessarily be 100% happy with this site, but this is the basic. This is what a site is at the end of the day. So congrats, guys. If any of you guys are still following, you were able to build your site. Congrats. So what I'm going to do now quickly is I'm just going to lay out um, the practical challenge that we have for you guys, submission guidelines and further readings. The practical challenge that we want for you guys to be able to earn your certificates is we want you to build a one-page website that makes use of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Your heart can go wild. You can build whatever you want as long as you make reference of those three things. To submit, there's two ways you can submit. The first being through the Spaanify platform, and that's actually the recommended way of submission. So what you do is you download the app and just submit your application through the app. Once you've submitted, it'll be marked and you will be allocated a certificate if you've passed or if you've been able to design a site. And yeah, cool. You guys have a week up until this video has been uploaded. And if there's any problems at all, please guys, don't be scared to contact us. Don't be scared to email us. You are gonna get stuck if you do get stuck. We are here to assist. Um, and then also just any further readings that you guys might want to do. One book, not a book per se, but one site I can definitely recommend you guys go to is called Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow is the mecca for developers. It has all the resources that you might need. Any problem that you're going to run into, someone else has run into it, and they will have posted it on Stack Overflow. So just make sure to maybe go through that site, stackoverflow.com. Um, Another cool website for learning is called W3 Schools. So they also just have little tutorials that you can follow, basic tutorials that you can follow. So for those wanting to further the development career, please go through that as well. The prize giving has, okay, it has been done, but if there's anything that we see that is beautiful in terms of the website or something that takes us aback, we will definitely give some sort of prize for that. And yeah, guys, thank you for being part of the Spaanify journey. Thank you for taking part. Let's keep on coding. Let's keep on pushing. Let's keep on developing. Um, Code makes the world a better place, in my opinion. The way we're going to change this world is by coding. That's what I truly believe. And I hope to see you guys soon. Stay tuned. I'm going to leave all the socials at the bottom. And again, thank you for being part of this Spaanify journey. Cheers.